It's finished here at Grosvenor Vale, Wealdstone 3, Altrincham 3. A remarkable game of football. I'm with Phil Parkinson. Phil, is that a point gained rather than 2 dropped for you?
Yeah, I think so. On the face of play, to concede 3 goals, I can't say that we deserve anything more than a draw, but we did score 3. So when you score 3 away from home, you should win, but we didn't defend well enough to come away with all 3 points. So definitely a point gained when you look at it like that.
We were under... it felt like we started quite well for the first 5 minutes or so, but then we had a sustained period where we were under a little bit of pressure. Did you feel that there was any kind of hangover from the weekend in terms of what that game took out of the team, sort of emotionally and physically?
Yeah, I think that's something that has to be looked at, but that's why we changed it as well. I think you could see all the changes that we did. Obviously, I can't change everyone, so we probably looked a little bit disjointed as well. Liam and Isaac in there weren't quite on the same page at times, but that's to be expected. But again, they've got to get the game time to be able to find the rhythm and find the groove. And that probably hurt us a little bit in terms of how we want to play. But I think you're absolutely right. There will be an element of a lot of emotion, a lot of physical attributes, physical action. Went into Saturday, and it did feel a little bit like after the Lord Mayor show, didn't it? Coming away to Wealdstone, 5 hours on a bus, a tight bus as well. We've not a great deal of space, 45 minutes, a little rest period in between. Manager asked me if we come down the night before and then we had a pre-match meal. So we haven't done them things, and they're the 1% that make a lot of difference, and it doesn't always guarantee you win, but does it help us be fresher for today? But unfortunately, we're Altrincham. We only have a certain amount of money for away games, and we've got to be careful what we're doing. So that certainly didn't help either. But the other point I would make is I know they had a defeat at the weekend, but these are banging form as well. So I think they've won 3 of the last league games, drawn 2, lost 2, or something along them lines, or maybe 3 and 3. But they've turned the season round. So although they're down there, they've been winning games, and they've been gaining points. So we'll probably look at this as a point gained on the road, and if we can back it up with 3 at the weekend, it'll be a very good return.
One of the features of tonight that we've not had when we've been here previously is, even if the game was going against us, we did look a threat when we did get forward. And obviously that first goal, you could say it maybe came a little bit out of nothing, but Tom Crawford did brilliantly to win the free kick, and then he did brilliantly to be the first man on the spot to score the goal. And difficult away games, you need to have that sort of threat at the other end. And to score 3 goals, we clearly did have that.
Yeah, we did. I think we've always got goals, and it's very rarely that we don't produce a goal. So you're always confident that you can keep them out the other end, which we weren't able to do tonight, which is unfortunate because we've really improved in that area. I went on record as saying it, another clean sheet at the weekend when we probably weren't at our best then. Whether they're 10 men or not, but you still got to keep that clean sheet. 7 in the league so far this season, 21st game, so it's not a bad return of clean sheets, less goals. So to concede 3, it's a bit like, where's that come from? But you have got to give Wealdstone a lot of credit as well. Not many teams will come here after the journey that we've done and pick up any kind of points if they play like that. So Wealdstone, it'd be interesting to see if they can maintain them levels. Mr. Reid always seems to turn up against us, doesn't he? So it's a bit of a thorn in our side. And you have them players and you have them teams. We don't have a great record here, do we, in terms of winning games? We've drawn a few and lost a few. So hopefully we will look back at it as a point game. But it has been a gruelling journey, I'm not going to lie. It was a real tough one. It's just where we are. We'd love to be able to come down the night before. We'd love to be able to have a bigger coach and be able to space the lads out, but we can't do that at the moment. So for the lads to produce what they did, I'm really proud of them.
And you've mentioned Alex Reid as being a thorn in our side, and Regan Linney as a thorn in everyone else's side. His first goal was a classic bit of Regan Linney play, and the penalty was well converted. And 2 more goals for him, and he's having a real purple patch at the moment.
He is, and he's our sort of talisman, isn't he? So he's the one we look to get the goal return, him and Alex in particular. And the other lads are chipping in really well and supporting them. As bad as not as bad as we were, as indifferent as we were on the night, as dominant as they were, they will have rude chances for themselves in terms of more crosses into the box rather than really good open play opening us up. We had a real good chance at the end if young Lucas Weaver just gets his head off Alex Newby's in, and we pinch a win there. But it was probably a fair result on the ebb and flow of the game. I know they'll feel a little bit aggrieved because they've had a lot of down bank possession in terms of crosses into the box territory, sorry, not possession, and they'll feel that that's them at their best, and probably they feel that they should have got something, but we've scored 3 away from home. We could have had another one through the way that we want to play, but we didn't do enough of that to win the game. We didn't show enough of what we are today. We showed the out of possession stuff, even though we've conceded 3, grit, determination, togetherness. All the subs as well applied themselves brilliantly. It's so hard to travel all this way and then come on and get over the little bit of disappointment of not starting and be a real team player. I thought Jake Cooper again was a standout there going into the mix when Charlie was tiring, didn't sulk, has got on with it, and I thought he was superb for us in particular when he went on.
Yeah, that was in fact going to be my next question, was about Jake Cooper. I would completely agree. I thought he did brilliantly when he came on. Is there also, given that we've struggled here before, and that games in the southeast, these long journeys that we've talked about before, you tend to see me for these games, Phil. Do you take heart from the fact that we have got something from this game, and is that in terms of trying to make it into those playoff places? These are the kind of games we need to try and get something from, I guess.
We do, and we made a point of that to the players. So we did a 20-game review. We do them every 10 games. So 20-game review, that the bit that we've asked the players, can we do better with, is can we pick up points, believe it or not, against the bottom half teams away from home. So this is a point gained. So this is where we've been getting undone. If you look at the Braintree result, for example, those types of games, Aldershot even, because they were down there when we played them, we didn't get anything there, and we got to start picking up them points, because at home we're looking extremely strong. We look like a playoff team at home, don't we? But away from home, we've got to mirror that a little bit more. It is harder. There's no getting away from it for all the reasons that I've spelt out to you there: the travel, the coach, the pre-match, all the bits that other teams who are in them playoffs and try and get them fine margins do. We've got to contend with them, and people will say, well, what you moaning about? You just got to get on with it. Unfortunately, that's the level of football we're at. Them fine margins can make all the difference, and that's why I always bang on about it, and I'll always fight to improve us in them areas, to give us a better chance and reduce me standing in front of you saying these excuses, because when they're all taken away, there is none, and it's all down to us. But while we're in this situation, I've always got to emphasise the point why the travel is so difficult for us. We do the overnights, we do it as well as we can, but we're not perfect, and sometimes that's reflective on the pitch, in my opinion.
So Saturday we've got Sutton United at home. I think fans tend to look at the second time you play a team, if you've lost heavily, you think, well, it's a chance for revenge. Is that how you and the players look at it, or is it just another opportunity for 3 points?
It's a benchmark game for me, because of they come down from the Football League and we got heavily beat at their place. Hey, we all know. I'm singing his praises tonight, the way he's come on. Jake's had a game to forget, hasn't he, where it'll probably never happen to him again. 3 mistakes. If he doesn't make 3 of them mistakes, we don't lose to that scoreline. We probably still lose on the day because we weren't good enough. But it's not 5-0. So I thought that scoreline didn't reflect the overall performance, but it's still a scoreline that we have to look at to show that we've moved forward in the division.